I want to bring people into my world and my framework. I've been, in the world of sales development for 11 years now, and I've come to realize that most of the frameworks that are out there, most of the ways that people think about sales development are wrong. One of the areas where we get it wrong consistently over and over and over again is the world of demand generation and sales development working together. The reason for that, I believe, is that marketers are coming from a world of B2C. And when they're coming from a world from B2C, it's much more difficult because they're used to getting leads that need to go through a funnel, and the conversion is a purchase. So when they get a conversion, their job is done. What's happening in the B2B world is too many marketers are focused on getting a conversion, but that conversion is a ebook download. It is a webinar registration. It is sometimes a contact us form, but their job isn't really done. Because if you have an e-commerce site, when somebody purchases a pair of jeans or a backpack or whatever, truly your job is on because revenue has been generated. But in the world of B2B, that lead has to be worked by a business development team or an account executive team, get a meeting and work from there. So what I've done in the world of B2B is separate my leads not in two buckets like most people do, inbound, outbound. I separate them into three buckets. Here are the buckets for you. Bucket number one is what I call inbound, but these are hand raisers. Hand raisers are going to be contact us forms, demo requests, and chat functionality. Anybody who is expecting your team as a B2B company to get back in touch with them to provide them information that they're requesting. Those leads are worked in a very different way than what we called warm outbound. Warm outbound are the MQLs, the traditional MQLs, though those come from webinars, trade shows, paid ads. It could be LinkedIn, it could be social media, it could be SEO. Anybody who's coming from different places and is just leaving their information because they're trying to consume your content, or like you guys, imagine I'm not going to try to sell any of you guys any of my services. I don't care. But if I wanted to work my MQLs, everybody who's attending this webinar, or even the, I don't know, however many people, 70, 100 people that registered for the webinar today, I could use those as MQLs and try to prospect. Now, what's the problem? Let's even look at this case scenario. A lot of the people joining this webinar today, are you decision makers at companies that are selling enterprise solutions that I can go reach out to and actually get a deal for LT sales? Very few. So a lot of marketers, even when they're getting these what they call inbound leads, they're amassing them in a big chunk and sending them to sales development for sales development to work. And that's a problem, right? And then the third bucket that exists is cold outbound, meaning I don't care who's engaging, I don't care who's doing what. What I want to do as an organization is I'm going to select a number of target accounts. I am going to very purposefully find the right buyer personas, go on LinkedIn, go on Zoom Info, go on LeadIQ, put them in a bucket and go outbound. Today, we're not going to focus on inbound. Therefore, we're not going to be focusing on the hand raisers as much. And we're not going to focus on cold outbound. We're purely going to focus on MQLs. And what I'm curious to hear from people, and you can put it in the chat, or you can raise your hand if you want to participate, is how do your companies work those MQLs? In my experience, I've seen all sorts of things. Some companies put out a webinar and they get 600 registrants. And what they do is they immediately grab those 600 and they send it to the SDR team. They're like, here are the leads. Other companies get a little bit more sophisticated. They say, to register, you must use a business email. You cannot use a personal email. That at least helps because some of the leads are going to be disqualified. But they still grab and send them to the SDR team. The more sophisticated you get, the more advanced your process is. Ideally, the way it should work is every B2B company that's selling mid-market and enterprise should have in their CRM a list of target accounts that they're going after. And I don't mean a list of 5, 10, 15, 20 like an account executive has, but the marketing team has to be responsible to truly run account-based marketing. That means they're going to map thousands and thousands of accounts that meet the criteria that makes them a good target account. I can give you examples of companies that I've worked with. One of my companies and a friend of mine, Dan Pantello at marpipe.com, they sell to companies that are running Facebook and Instagram ads. Therefore, the way they build their list, and they have several thousands of companies, is they're going to go into every company's Facebook profile. They find the ads account, and they only make them a target account if they have more than 10 Facebook ads running. Anybody who has less than 10 Facebook ads running, they're discarded. So what that means is when somebody attends a webinar, if their email address matches the website URL of a company that has been proven to be a target account, it immediately falls into a cadence. If it is not, it is manually verified. They check, does this company, whatever it might have been, like joespizza.com, Joe's Pizza, they go on Facebook, they look, do they have 10 ads running at any given point? If they have more than 10, likely they have a good budget, they're testing certain things, we're going to reach out to them. If not, not. And then they don't just look at the lead, check out their company information and decide, does this lead is qualified or disqualified? When they check if Joe's Pizza has more than 10 target accounts, they add it to the target accounts list. And every target account that they've ever researched, they've decided if it's going to be in or out. So you only research each company once. And if you filter them out for lack of fit at the moment, you give it a timer. You give it like 6 months. Right? After 6 months, if the lead comes in again or there's engagement again, you're going to check again and make sure that there's an initiative there.